You are live. Share your screen with your audience. No, I'm not going to be doing that. What's going on, YouTube? Back for another video. Y'all got to pardon me. I actually read some of numbers. I read a chapter or two without you guys. Um, yeah, just wanted to spend some alone time with God, if you will. But I'm back. As you can see from the title, I'm gonna be reading Numbers chapter 30. Um, I'm still getting used to this going live thing, this streaming thing. I'm still getting used to it. I guess it's like a challenge to myself and maybe even motivation for anybody else. Don't think too much about it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you hear from God and God is telling you to do something, uh, don't think too much about it. Just do it. He tell you to jump. Don't ask why, how, where, when. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's okay to talk to God. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. Capture moments as they happen. Stream markers or timestamps. Okay. But yes. So yeah, just getting back to what I was getting at, right? Um, don't think too much about it. You know what I'm saying? Telling you to make a video, make a video. Telling you to share the gospel with the people down the street, you do that. Share the gospel on your platforms, you do that. You know what I'm saying? Spend more time with him, you do that. You feel me? Just be obedient. Yeah, I don't want to end up like Jonah. I believe it was Jonah. I haven't gotten to that book yet in this Bible, but y'all don't want to end up like Jonah in the belly of a fish because you was disobedient, or even before he got in that belly, right? When he was on a boat with some randoms, if you will, and everybody's suffering because of his disobedience. You don't want everybody to suffer because of you, and if you do, you're selfish. I need you to pray on that. I need you to work on that because that ain't cool. You feel me? But yeah, you don't want to be like that. You want to be obedient because it is in your obedience to God that He blesses you, that He covers you, He watches out for you because you're in alignment with Him. When you're not in alignment with Him, when you're being disobedient, now you're over here, but God's still right here. God hasn't moved. God hasn't changed. You move, you change. So how can you expect the blessings and the coverings and the protections and all these things? How can you expect all these things if you're not in alignment with Him because you're being disobedient? And I feel like myself included at times, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody's perfect. I feel like everybody goes through those moments, has those times when we just be delusional for real. What they say, we be delusional for real. You know what I'm saying? Like we want and expect all these different things from God, but we doing our own thing. You feel me? We not in alignment with Him, and that's on nobody but us, but ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We do it to ourselves. God hasn't changed. God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. We the ones that change. We the ones that change like the weather. You know what I'm saying? The wind blow this way, the wind blow that way, or we feel like this today, we feel like that tomorrow. We felt like this yesterday. We the ones that change and do different things despite what the word says, what we should do. Most times we go off of how we feel. We go off of what we feel as though is right. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's towards this person or my own or my intellect or what I know or the people I know or the money I got, like we rely on ourselves more than we rely on God. And it is that pride that gets us out of alignment as well. So I'm done. I'm done rambling, if you will. I'm about to get to this Numbers chapter 30. Again, I'm reading out of the Christian Standard Bible version. Check it out if you could, and if you can't, it's cool. Again, I say this every live with every reader. The best version is the one that you understand. There's no point in you getting a version that you don't understand. Because how you supposed to get the revelation if you don't know what you're reading? It's not sticking. It's not hitting home because that verbiage, that terminology, is foreign to you, and because it's foreign to you, you can't grasp it. And because you can't grasp it, I can ask you what you just read. You might be struggling because you don't know for real because it didn't stick, and it didn't stick because again, the form, the language, the verbiage of it. Anyway, again, I'm done rambling. My second time saying that right. Numbers chapter 30. I'm gonna be reading the entire chapter. Again, I'm in a Christian Standard Bible version. There we go. Moses told the leaders of the Israelite tribes, "This is what the Lord has commanded. When a man makes a vow to the Lord or swears an oath to put himself under an obligation, he must not break his word. He must do whatever he has promised." I'm assuming y'all can hear me. Just pause real quick. When a woman in her father's house during her youth makes a vow to the Lord or puts herself under an obligation, and her father hears about her vow or the obligation she put herself under, and he says nothing to her, all her vows and every obligation she put herself under are binding. But if her father prohibits her, hmm, but if her father prohibits her on the day he hears about it, none of her vows and none of the obligations she put herself under are binding. The Lord will release her because her father has prohibited her. I didn't know that. I just learned something new. If a woman marries while her vows or the rash commitment she herself made are binding, and her husband hears about it and says nothing to her when he finds out about it, her vows are binding, and the obligations she put herself under are binding. But if her husband prohibits her when he hears about it, he will cancel her vow that is binding or the rash commitment she herself made, and the Lord will release her. Didn't know that either. Again, I'm in Numbers chapter 30. I'm just learning. I'm just learning new things. I didn't know that. I thought once you make a vow, a commitment, that is automatically binding. I didn't know that there was a time period until it is officially binding. Like I didn't know you can get out of it before this time, under any circumstance, to be honest with you. So I just learned that. Every vow a widow or divorced woman puts herself under is binding on her. I understand that. I understand that. Not just because it's widowed or divorced, or just because it's a woman, but again, I'm coming from the understanding that every vow that you put on yourself is binding. Learning something new again. Every vow a widow or divorced woman puts herself under is binding on her. If a woman in her husband's house has made a vow or put herself under an obligation with an oath, and her husband hears about it, says nothing to her, and does not prohibit her, all her vows are binding, and every obligation she puts herself under is binding. But if her husband cancels them on the day he hears about it, nothing that came from her lips, whether her vows or her obligation, is binding. Okay? Her husband has canceled them, and the Lord will release her. Her husband may confirm or cancel any vow or any sworn obligation to deny herself. If her husband says nothing at all to her from day to day, he confirms all her vows and obligations, which are binding. He has confirmed them because he said nothing to her when he heard about them. But if he cancels them after he hears about them, he will be responsible for her commitment. Hmm. Okay. These are the statutes. These are the statutes that the Lord commanded Moses concerning the relationship between a man and his wife, or between a father and his daughter in his house during her youth. I don't know about you guys. I just concluded Numbers chapter 30. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm about to highlight a few things. First thing I highlighted was Numbers chapter 30, verse 16. Now you might be wondering why I highlighted that. Because again, this whole chapter, right? This whole chapter was new information for me, and I like to retain as much knowledge as I can from my readings in this good book. from my readings in this good book, I like to retain as much knowledge as I can. And one way I can do that is by highlighting. See, if I ever flip back to it, I'll see something that's highlighted and that'll stand out to me. And in my mind, I'll think I highlighted this for a reason, right? But yeah, that was Numbers chapter 30. Regulations about vows. Um, so from my reading, from my understanding, what I can not regurgitate, but what I can speak on from my memory, just from reading that just now, is that if a daughter, if a woman is still living in her father's house and she's young, and she makes a vow or commitment, and her father hears about it, he can cancel that. He can void that, and the Lord will release that woman, that young woman. If the father hears about it and does nothing, then it's in full effect. You know what I'm saying? Because the father didn't cancel it, he didn't void it. So that commitment, yeah, she gotta, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is keeping her to that, basically. Um, Married woman, if the married woman makes a vow or commitment and the husband hears about it and cancels it, the Lord respects that and releases her from that. If if the husband hears about it and he says nothing, does nothing, well then the Lord is going to hold her to that vow, to that commitment that she made. I'm trying to look and see if I'm missing anything from that. Again, yep, the Lord told Moses and had Moses communicate that to the leaders of the Israelite tribes. Um, yeah, every vow a widow or divorced woman puts herself under is binding on her. Almost missed that. I almost missed it. So again, I'm not perfect. I never claim to be. But from my understanding of this reading, right, just based on that last part that I just read, just based on that last part that I just read, um, if you're married, no, if you're divorced or widowed and you made a vow or commitment, there's no breaking that. The Lord is going to hold you to that. It's binding. You know that. I'm saying that's something else I highlighted because I believe I went over the other aspects of that chapter, and that was the one I was missing. So when I reread that, I was like, any vow or commitment a widowed or divorced woman makes is binding. Like the Lord is going to hold you to that. But yeah, again, like I say in my past videos, like I'll say in every video, right? Pretty much. Spend time with God. You know what I'm saying? How you supposed to know of God if you don't spend time with Him? One of the ways you can spend time with Him is through the reading of His Word. Another way is prayer. You know what I'm saying? Praising His name, fasting. You know what I'm saying? Just seeking Him. And again, like I just went over, right? One of the ways you can seek His face and seek Him is through the reading of His Word, through spending time with Him. That's when you gather a greater understanding of who He is, what He says, what He has done, and best believe what He has done in the past, He could do in the present, and He could do in the future, because God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Man, I swear, everything just comes together like just perfectly, cohesively, just like flawlessly, if you will. Yeah, everything comes together just like perfectly for real, for real. Like, if you haven't already memorized some verses, after you memorize some verses, read the word. And this verse might pop up in your head after reading something in this chapter or in this book. Then this verse, you know what I'm saying? It just bing, 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 because it all flows, it all goes together. It's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that reading. Again, that was Numbers chapter 30. I read out of the Christian Standard Bible Version, CSB. Any version you choose to read, it doesn't matter as long as you understand the version that you are reading. Y'all be easy. Y'all stay blessed. Love y'all. I'm out. Peace.